All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Lee. Happy Sabbath. I've got Dead Sea Scrolls translation pulled up here. I'm going to be starting Leviticus today. Here is some examples of fragments found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Paleo Leviticus. There's a Septuagint Leviticus. So we've got Paleo Hebrew, regular Hebrew, Greek, fragments, different manuscripts. There's another Septuagint Leviticus. So we've got quite a few to look at. So I'm going to change to book and chapter view here, go to Leviticus, and start at chapter 1. And it gives you the scroll information here, what scroll we're reading from. On chapter 1, these are all chapter 1. Chapter 1. Also, I've got the Thompson Greek Septuagint translation pulled up here. So I'm going to go to Leviticus here. I found some interesting stuff in the Thompson translation that's not in the Brenton translation. For example, in Psalms, where's it at? Psalms. I'll show you right quick. Go to Psalms 31. Where's it? 30. Pity me. Come on then. Let's see. Previous chapter. There we go. No, it's 32. 32. Here we go. 32 in the Thompson translation. Thou art my refuge from affliction, which surroundeth me, my jubilee, to redeem me from them who encompass me. So in this one it actually says jubilee. And it looks like he's coming on a jubilee to rescue his people. So it's very interesting. But I'm going to go back to Leviticus. Just found that this morning. So Leviticus in the Thompson. And one other thing I've been looking at is the Samaritan Pentateuch. And there's a lot of interesting stuff I found in here. I haven't been really sharing that much, but there's some very good stuff in here that's missing from modern Bibles also. So I've got that pulled up. Samaritan Pentateuch. And I've got the Brenton Septuagint pulled up. The King James pulled up. Bible Study and Search Tool. And the Targums. Targum Pseudo Jonathan. Got that pulled up. So, this is Leviticus chapter 1, and we'll start here. Leviticus 1, scroll 4Q25. Yahuwah called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, when any one of you offers an offering to Yahuwah, you shall offer your offering of the livestock from the herd and from the flock. So, we're missing verse 2. We're missing 2, so let's go to verse 2. Maybe it's in. No, 2's included. Okay, I missed it. 3. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without defect. He shall offer it at the door of the tent of meeting, that he may be accepted before Yahuwah. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it shall it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. He shall kill the bull before Yahuwah. Aaron's sons, the priests, shall present the blood and sprinkle the blood around on the altar that is at the door of the tent of meeting. So 6 is missing. 666. There's 6. And having flayed the whole burnt offering, they shall cut it in quarters. Flay the burnt offering, cut it into pieces. Seven, the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and lay wood in order on the fire. So the next verse we have is 11. Yep. So it ends at 7, then we have 11. So, and the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall lay the quarters with the head and the suet on the wood which is on the fire on the altar, and they shall wash the entrails and the feet with water, and the priest shall lay them all on the altar. It is an homage gift, a sacrifice, a smell of fragrance for Yahuwah. And if his gift to Yahuwah be from the flocks, either from the lambs or the kids for a whole burnt offering, he shall bring a male without blemish. So, got that there. Yep, the suet it's like kidney fat. It's brittle, and you can break it in pieces. It crumbles, and you can feed it to birds. I used to work in a butcher shop, so we had plenty of suet in there. And so it's 11. He shall kill it on the north side of the altar before Yahuwah. Aaron's sons, the priest, shall sprinkle the blood around on the altar. He shall cut it into pieces with its head and its fat. The priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar. But the innards and the legs he shall wash with water. The priest shall offer the whole and burn it on the altar. It is a burnt offering and an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahuwah. If his offering to Yahuwah is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall offer his offering from turtle doves or of young pigeons. The priest shall bring it to the altar and wring off its head and burn it on the altar, and its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. It's a burnt offering of birds. He shall offer his offering from turtle doves or from young pigeons, wring off its head. You know, my dad said my grandpa used to do that with chickens to kill them. Snap the head off. On the side of the altar, and he shall take away its crop and its feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part, in the place of the ashes. He shall tear it by its wings, but shall not divide it apart. The priest shall burn it on the altar on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahuwah. 17. Yeah. Yeah, and so the Septuagint, he shall kill it on the north side. This scroll here, Septuagint says, and they shall kill it on the north side of the altar before Yahuwah. Aaron's sons, the priest, shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. They. 17. Yep, so that's the end of that one. Next chapter, chapter 2. Move on over. Let's see. Next. There we go. Chapter 2. Next chapter. Book of Leviticus. Targums. The word of Yahuwah called to Moshe. Next chapter, chapter 2. from scroll 4Q17. When anyone offers an offering of a meal offering to Yahuwah, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it. It is a meal offering. This right here in red is missing from our text, but this is found in the manuscript. So modern Bibles don't have this, but, well, some modern Bibles might, but like the KJV, except Leviticus chapter 2, and put frankincense thereon. Yeah, say frankincense on it. Does not have, it is a meal offering. Lay frankincense on it. Nope. Now the Samaritan Pentateuch says it is a present. So it does at least have that. But everywhere else, well, the Brent Septuagint says it is a sacrifice. Lay frankincense on it. And verse 2 it says it is a sacrifice. And this scroll doesn't even have it here. This one has it, this one doesn't. So 2. Here's a footnote at the bottom. Let's see here. Look down here. Here the LXX or Septuagint inserts a gift of Yahuwah, but this insertion is not in the scroll. So that's something extra that's not in the scroll. Be in verse 4. Two. Yep. Alright, so scroll 4Q24. When anyone offers an offering of a meal offering to Yahuwah, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it. And if anybody's wondering, you'll see where it's got Yahuwah or YHWH, but in modern translations it says Lord, 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 Lord. See? All over. Well, if you go into Bible Study Tool, go to Leviticus 2, where they have Lord at, and say Jehovah or Jehovah. They've got that in all the translations. Lord 6,500 times. See, unpronounced except with the vowel pointings. So they've got Lord, but it's the vowel points. It's not the actual word. It's the accents on the word. So they pronounce the vowel pointed. To them, they have the holy name doctrine that you can't pronounce the name. It's too holy. So they just pronounce Lord or Jehovah. But in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's not the case. You do just a little bit of research. Everywhere they've got Lord and God in our modern translations, the actual Levites that kept the scriptures had Yahuwah, YHWH. See? They removed it and replaced it. And even an old copy of Aquila Septuagint had the name in Paleo Hebrew. So they didn't change it to any other language. The divine name stayed the same. All this Greek around it, and the divine name stayed Paleo Hebrew. Anybody that says it's okay to translate his name, no. and the son came in the father's name, so the son's name would be Paleo Hebrew too. So that's why I say Yahuwah. I don't say Yahweh as modern Bibles have it, or Lord as the people who don't even pronounce Yahweh. And so he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priest. He shall take his handful of its fine flour and of its oil with all its frankincense, and the priest shall burn its memorial on the altar, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahuwah. That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a most holy part of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. So 4. When you offer an offering of a meal offering baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, of unleavened wafers anointed with oil. 5. So if your offering is a meal offering made on a griddle, it shall be of unleavened fine flour mixed with oil. You shall cut it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a meal offering. If your offering is a meal offering of the pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. And bring the meal offering that is made of these things to Yahuwah. It shall be presented to the priest, and he shall bring it to the altar. The priest shall take from the meal offering its memorial, and shall burn it on the altar, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahuwah. That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a most holy part of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. No meal offering which you shall offer to Yahuwah shall be made with yeast, for you shall burn no yeast nor any honey as an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. As an offering of first fruits you shall offer them to Yahuwah, but they shall not rise up as a pleasant aroma on the altar. If every offering of your meal offering you shall season with salt, you shall not allow the salt of the covenant of your Elohim, or God, to be lacking from your meal offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. So I found this really interesting. The salt of the covenant. Mark 9:50, salt is good, but if salt have lost its saltiness, wherewith will you season it? Have salt in yourselves, have the covenant in yourselves, and have peace one with another. His peace. The Bible's written in code. He knew what he was talking about. Psalm 119, 165, great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Peace, law. Salt, covenant. Peace. Love your neighbor as yourself. See, verse 14, when you offer a meal offering of first fruits to Yahuwah, you shall offer for the meal offering of your first fruits fresh heads of grain, parched with fire and crushed. You shall put oil on it and lay frankincense on it. It is a meal offering. The priest shall burn as its memorial part of its crushed grain and part of its oil, along with all its frankincense. It is an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. 16. Yep, that's the Septuagint fragment here. Looks like it doesn't have made by fire in it. And verse 3. And when you look at sacrifice of Yahuwah, yep, it doesn't have it here either in this translation of the Septuagint. Or here. The Pentateuch has 3. The Pentateuch has made by fire. And the Hebrew Masoretic text has made by fire. So, and you'll see, like when you click on it here, if you go into the Masoretic Hebrew or Yiddish, that's the underlying text in the King James Version. Made by fire is C. Is Shaw. Yep. So Targums. Does Targums have made by fire? Let's see. Chapter 2. Doesn't look like it. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. Let's see. Most holy among the blessings of Yahuwah. Thou bring oblation of a meat offering baked in an oven. Nope. Made by fire would be right here. Missing. Happy Sabbath, Ken, and happy Sabbath, Kingdom Faith Outdoors. So we've got... Yep. So 16... Finished that already. Yep. Next chapter, chapter 3. I'll bring it on over. Yep. I'll just leave that. Chapter 3. So we've got scroll here, scroll here, scroll, 3 scrolls, 4 scrolls. 1. Okay, I'll just start here. Scroll 4Q24. If his offering is a sacrifice of peace offerings, if he offers it from the herd, whether male or female, he shall offer it without defect before Yahuwah. So missing there, all the way to 8. Scroll 4Q26A. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it at the door of the tent of meeting, and Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood around on the altar. He shall offer of the sacrifice of peace offerings an offering made by fire to Yahuwah, the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is on the innards, and of the 2 kidneys, the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver. With the kidneys he shall take away. That's the suet, that brittle fat you can feed to the birds. Aaron's son shall burn it on the altar on the burnt offering, which is on the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahuwah. If his offering for a sacrifice of the peace offerings to Yahuwah is from the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without defect. If he offers a lamb for his offering, then he shall offer it before Yahuwah, and he shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it before the tent of meeting, and Aaron's son shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. That's 8. Look at that in just a second. So back to 4Q24. 8. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it before the tent of meeting. Aaron's sons shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. He shall offer from the sacrifice of peace offerings an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. So there it is in this chapter. its fat, the entire tail fat, he shall take away close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver, which the kidneys, he shall take away. The priest shall burn it on the altar. And in Indiana, when I was a butcher, we used to package it up and sell it to people, or give it to people, so they could feed it to the birds. It is food of the offering made by fire to Yahuwah. If his offering is a goat, then he shall offer it before Yahuwah. He shall lay his hand on its head and kill it before the tent of meeting, and the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. He shall offer from it as his offering, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah, the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is on the innards. 14, 16, 17. So 15 we don't have. Let's go over to Samaritan Pentateuch, 15. And the 2 kidneys and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And so, yeah, see the Thompson translation of the Septuagint, it actually says suet. That's the kidney fat. I don't think any of the other translations say that. Let's see. Verse 10. 10. No, it doesn't say suet. 10. Nope, just the Thompson translation. 16 from scroll 4Q25. The priest shall burn them on the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a pleasant aroma. All the fat is Yahuwah's. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your dwellings, that you shall eat neither fat nor blood. Don't eat fat or blood. 17. Yep, that looks like it there. Yep, last verse, 17. So 4. And you can look up, let's see. Suet. I can get a picture on it. Suet. Yep, bird food. Yep, they like it. It's brittle. You can crumble it in your fingers. There you go. There's a good picture of it. That's what I used to deal with. Just breaks off. So, chapter 4. We've got a scroll here. Another here. There's some differences. It's a long chapter. 1 here. Here the scroll contains a correction. After the word offering, the scroll has the words which he sinned crossed out. 2, the word order probably differs from the Masoretic text. That's our King James Version. A lot of modern Bibles. So Leviticus 4 from scroll 4Q25. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel, saying, if anyone sins unintentionally in any of the things which Yahuwah has commanded not to be done, and does any one of them, if the anointed priest sins so as to bring guilt on the people, then let him offer for his sin which he has sinned a young bull without defect to Yahuwah for a sin offering. And I'll stop right there for a second. Sin. We have a new sin offering, Titus 2:14. Let's go back a little bit. Titus 2. Let's do 10. Not purloining, but showing all good fidelity, that they may adorn the doctrine of Yahuwah our Savior in all things, or Yahusha. For the grace of Yahuwah that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of our great God, Yahuwah, and our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, who gave himself for us that he might redeem us from all iniquity, lawlessness, and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works, keeping his commandments. These things speak and exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee. So, Titus 2:14. One thing I like about the English Standard Version, you look up Titus 2:14, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all lawlessness. See? You read the King James Version, you could just skip right past it, but it's glaringly obvious what he redeemed us from in the ESV. So that's very useful. And 1 Timothy 2:6. Let's go to let's start at verse 3. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of Yahuwah our Savior, or Yahusha, who will have all men to be saved and come into the knowledge of the truth. For there is one God, Yahuwah, and one mediator between Yahuwah and men, the man, Yahushua HaMashiach, who gave himself a ransom for all, to be testified in due time. And the knowledge of the truth. It's in a lot of different places. Knowledge of the truth in the law. For if we sin willfully, Hebrews 10:26, after we receive the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Knowledge of the truth in the law. Knowledge. And is also Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy Elohim. I will also forget thy children. Psalm 119:151. Thou art near, O Yahuwah, and all thy commandments are truth. Psalm 119:142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. He came to die so that we could be grafted back into covenant. Luke, that's our sacrifice. Luke 172, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant. So there's our spotless lamb. He shall bring the bull to the door of the tent of meeting before Yahuwah, and he shall lay his hand on the head of the bull, and kill the bull before Yahuwah. The anointed priest shall take some of the blood of the bull, and bring it to the tent of meeting. The priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil of the sanctuary. Interesting. The veil was torn when Messiah died. Let's see. So 6. So this, yep. This Greek Septuagint scroll 4Q120 has a young bull of the herd, some of the blood with his finger 7 times before Yahuwah. The priest shall put some of the blood of the bull on the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahuwah, which is in the tent of meeting, and he shall pour out all of the rest of the blood of the bull at the base of the altar of offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. He shall take all the fat of the bull of the sin offering from it, the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is on the innards. And a lot of times in like the Greek translation, they'll add words to make sure people know what it's talking about. So that's why it's got with his finger of the bull. So when these things are missing, you know that's the original translation, most likely. 9. Nope. Goes to 12. Missing 9. Okay, here we got 9 here. And the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver with the kidneys, he shall take away. 10. As it is taken from the bull of sacrifice of peace offerings, the priest shall burn them on the altar of burnt offering, the bull's skin, all its meat, with its head and with its legs, its innards and its dung. So 11, 12. Or 12 at. He shall carry the whole bull outside the camp to a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, it shall be burned. If the whole congregation of Israel sins, and the thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done any of the things which Yahuwah has commanded not to be done, and are guilty, when the sin in which they have sinned is known, then the assembly shall offer a young bull for a sin offering, and bring it before the tent of meeting. So we're down to 14. 14. Nope. Yep. No 14 here. We got 18. 18, 14. Nope. So next is going to be 18. So 14 to 18. When the sin which they have sinned against it, this is the Samaritan Pentateuch, is known, then the congregation shall offer a flawless young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before Yahuwah, and the bullock shall be killed before Yahuwah. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation, and the priest shall dip with his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle the blood 7 times before Yahuwah, even before the veil of the sanctuary. 18. So we got 18 there. Now, the interesting thing I like about this here is you've got, so you go back to, where's that? There's a place in here. Yeah, there's a place in here where it talks about one of them. One of the people found giants in the desert. But that is nowhere in our translation. But it is in the Samaritan Pentateuch. I thought that was very cool. If I could find it. And probably can't find it. But you'll see they've got the Hebrew Masoretic on one side and the Samaritan Pentateuch on the other side, and you can see the differences in the text. I don't know if you can see that. but it'll be in bold, the differences. And they have notes. Yep. Yep. So, some interesting stuff in there. Hadn't got very far, but got through Genesis, started Exodus. So he shall put, 18, he shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar, which is before Yahuwah, that is in the tent of meeting, and the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. All its fat he shall take from it and burn it on the altar. So 19 to 26, 23. 19 to 23. He shall take all his fat from him and burn it upon the altar. He shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall he do with this, and the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. He shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler has sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah, his Elohim, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty. 23. And if his sin, this is Leviticus from scroll 11Q1, Paleo Leviticus. So this is written in Paleo Hebrew. If his sin in which he has sinned is made known to him, he shall bring as his offering a goat, a male without defect. He shall lay his hand on the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Yahuwah. It is a sin offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering. He shall pour out the rest of its blood at the base of the altar of burnt offering. All its fat he shall burn on the altar, like the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, and he will be forgiven. So the priest is going to make atonement for him. We have priest. Hebrews chapter 4. There remains a rest or Sabbath to the people of Yah. And you can look in the Greek, it is Sabbath. For he that is entered into his rest has also ceased from his own works, as Yahuwah did from his. You look in Genesis there, where he rested the seventh day. Let us labor to enter that seventh day rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief, no faith. So, Hebrews 4:14, seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahushua, the son of Yahuwah, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. What is sin? 1 John 3:4, transgression of the law. Romans 7:7, he had not known sin but by the law. So the Messiah never broke the law. Let us therefore come boldly into the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Messiah, which strengtheneth me. So we have a high priest, a perfect high priest. 26 and 27, if any one of the common people sins unwittingly in doing any of the things which Yahuwah has commanded not to be done, and is guilty, if his sin which he has sinned is made known to him, then he shall bring for his offering a goat, a female without defect, for his sin which he has sinned. 29. Yep, so we go to 29. In the Pentateuch, he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering and slay the sin offering in the place where they are slaying the burnt offering. Thompson says, 29, lay hand on the head of the sin offering, they shall kill the she-goat for sin offering in the place where they kill the whole burnt offerings. Sin offering, slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering in the King James Version. Verse 30, the priest shall take some of its blood with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of a burnt offering, and the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar. Verse 30, bottom of the altar. So the last thing we have in the Dead Sea Scrolls is verse 30. So in the Pentateuch we got 31. He shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it as a female without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar according to the offerings made by fire unto Yahuwah. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Now, one other reference, let's see, where's it at? Favorites. Yep. This right here, I don't know if I've got it pulled up. So you can get this book on Google Play Store. I bought it there. And I have a copy over there. So I've got both copies. I own both copies. When you go to, let's see if I can zoom it in here. Nope. Let's see. Zoom it in. There we go. Leviticus. Display options. Okay, there we go. That's 200. I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay. All right, so we got you got the scholars. The good thing about this book here is you can read through the Dead Sea Scrolls translation, and then down here they'll have text of this scroll, found in the scrolls. Very earliest Greek translations from the middle 3rd century BCE. Now you have to check what they say because they're not always right. But if you go here, 4Q Exodus Leviticus, that's the scroll which is only extant as far as Leviticus 2, along with 4Q Sam B. The oldest manuscripts found in the caves of Qumran, dating to the middle 3rd century BCE. And you go to, like here, you can look at the footnotes in the book. And the footnotes tell you the different scrolls. And they'll also tell you, like here, where number 4 is at, offering made by fire, is in the Masoretic text, in the Samaritan Pentateuch, and the LXX. So when you check, you'll see this will be in the Masoretic text and the Samaritan Pentateuch. This right here will be in the Samaritan Pentateuch and the LXX, not in the Masoretic text. So it's a good reference to check some things maybe save you some time. See, this right here, found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, is only in the Samaritan Pentateuch, not in the Masoretic text or the LXX. So we've got, Leviticus chapter 5 here. Probably end at 5. So 6. Yeah, so it starts at 6. We'll go over to 5 here. Samaritan Pentateuch. And if the soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and as a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity, lawlessness. Or if a soul that touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall sin in one of these things, that he shall confess that he has sinned in that thing. And you can see this echoed in the New Testament. And 2 Corinthians 6:17, wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. So that still stands. Touch not the unclean thing. So 6. And he shall bring to pass his trespass. He shall bring his trespass, as 4Q120, Septuagint Leviticus scroll, offering to Yahuwah for his sin which he has sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin which he has sinned, and he shall be forgiven. That is not in our modern translations. Very interesting. 6. And it's in the Samaritan Pentateuch, and it is forgiven to him. And missing, King James Version. And 5, 6. Thompson Septuagint has, the sin shall be forgiven him. 5, 6. Brenton Septuagint has, his sin shall be forgiven him. So King James Version is the only one that doesn't have it. So 7. Yep. So 7. We'll go to 7. Verse 7, if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto Yahuwah, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall first offer the one which is for the sin offering, and wring off its head from its neck, but shall not sever it completely. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. For it is a sin offering. He shall offer the second for a burnt offering according to the ordinance, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin which he has sinned, and he shall be forgiven. 10, there's 12. So I'm missing 11. But if he be not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he that sinned shall bring for his offering the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour. For a sin offering, he shall pour no oil upon it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. 12. Scroll 4Q25. 12. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it as the memorial portion and burn it on the altar, on the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. It is a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, that he has sinned in any of these things, and he will be forgiven. And the rest shall be the priest as the meal offering. 13 to 16. So 14, and Yahuwah spoke unto Moses, saying, if a soul commit a trespass and sin through ignorance in the holy things of Yahuwah, then he shall bring for his trespass unto Yahuwah a ram without blemish out of the flocks, with thy estimation by shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering. 16. He shall make restitution for that which he has done wrong in the holy thing, and shall add a fifth part to it, and give it to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and he will be forgiven. If anyone sins and does any of the things which Yahuwah has commanded not to be done, though he didn't know it, yet he is guilty, and shall bear his iniquity, or lawlessness. He shall bring a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation, for a trespass offering to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning the thing in which he sinned and didn't know it, and he will be forgiven, for he is certainly guilty before Yahuwah. So 19 is the last one. Okay, so we got a lot more here. 20. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yahuwah, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely, in any of all these things that a man doeth, sinning therein, then it shall be, because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found. Or of all the words that about which he has sworn falsely, he shall even restore it in the principal, and he shall add the fifth part more thereto, and give unto him to whom it appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yahuwah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahuwah, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done in trespassing therein. So that's a big no-no. No lying. Jeremiah 7. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, stand in the gate of Yahuwah's house, and proclaim there this word, and say, hear the word of Yahuwah, all ye of Judah, that enter in at these gates to worship Yahuwah. Thus saith the Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place. Trust you not in lying words, saying, the temple of Yahuwah, the temple of Yahuwah, the temple of Yahuwah are these. For if you thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if you thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if you oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods to your hurt, Sunday gods, Christmas gods, Easter gods, then will I cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. Will you steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense to Baal, and walk after other gods whom you know not, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations? Is this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes? Behold, even I have seen it, saith Yahuwah. But go you now unto my place which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at the first, and see what I did to it for the wickedness of my people Israel. And now because you have done all these works, saith Yahuwah, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but you heard not, and I called you, but you answered not. Therefore will I do unto this house which is called by my name, wherein you trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh. And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. That's the northern 10 tribes, northern kingdom. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Pretty harsh rebuke. And it's also in where's that at? It is Yep, I can't remember where it's at. So, let's see. Yep. So we got 5. Where's that in the target map? Chapter 5. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking up. Swear not at all. Take no oath. Matthew 5. Yeah, he says 33. Again, you've heard it hath been said of old time, and every time he says of old time, he's talking about the law. Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto Yahuwah thine oaths. Now he's going to clarify. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king, that great city. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, but for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. You have heard that it been, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. So he's quoting the law, and he's what he's doing is fulfilling the prophecy. He didn't come to do away with the law, but he did change some things, or clarify, or magnify. Isaiah 42:21, Yahuwah is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. So he took some things, he tweaked it. And he's Yahuwah created everything through his son Yahusha, so he has the authority to change the law. Nobody else. So he says, and don't swear by anything. Take no oath. Yep. Anyways. Alright, so I'll stop there. Go to chapter 5. All right. Well, happy